Good day, Sven the Slayer here once again, and welcome back to Starmade. Now this is a little bit of a rebuttal video on Jath's video as to why we do not need flat landing platforms. And I just wanted to go over universal docking and I love docking collars. I intend to fully use docking collars, a universal docking collar, UDC as they are referred to. But that doesn't take away the fact that we should be able to dock ships on flat platforms. So I'll just demonstrate the UDC for now, and its downsides as well. So here we have my nice little destroyer, and with docking collars I can fly up to my carrier, and these two docking collars are exactly the same, and it gives me the ability to seamlessly merge my destroyer to my carrier. And I can then walk over here, hit the button, enter the airlock, and cycle this airlock. I wish it would be more possible to have a little more wireless logic options. Say, if block X is in range of block Y, or block X on a different ship, to send a signal back and forth. I think that would be kind of a cool option, because that way I can have these airlocks linked up, so cycling one will cycle the other one and they can merge together pretty well. So that's a universal docking collar. Allows two ships to dock together regardless of the position of them. The only downside to that is it's a little ugly, especially with Black Hull. With Grey Hull it might not be so bad, but the textures made by Kupu are amazing. I am not doubting, saying that these are bad textures. These are amazing textures, just they aren't going to fit well with every hull type. So it would be absolutely amazing if we could bury these behind maybe, say, just one layer of hull to get the look we want. And that would allow us to create universal docking collars in any color pattern we like. And another thing, the rail docker is, like I said, it's a very nice texture. It works great for the rails, but in my opinion it looks a little odd or off as a single dock. So I kind of like the docking blocks. They give kind of a nice little clamp look, and they work really well for what they are intended for. But these, as they stand alone, don't look very nice. When you have a whole bunch of them, they look great, but as a standalone, not so well. And the other thing is, we lose the ability to create universal hangars. So I can't take this little ship, fly back to my hangar, open the door, and fly in here and land without building a specific support structure for this ship. There is absolutely no way for me to land this ship in this hangar without maybe just sticking something below it, and it's very nice. This was designed to fit in a 7x7, and it is a rather nice looking little ship for a 7x7x7 docking block. And it has the access to the core underneath, and you can get in and out if this ship is sitting perfectly flat. And there's just universal docking collars and universal docking are not the same thing, so they should not be treated like they are the same thing. And this hangar was specifically designed for me to be able to fly any ship that can fit through the door, fly into this hangar and dock. And there's just no good way to do that with the current iteration of the rail docking. And I have, a whole bunch of other different designs of ships, and while most of my ships do have the belly of the ship, the lowest point, it's still not universal. It's not going to be the same for every ship. Not every ship is going to be designed well for the current docking. The old docking system was nice because if it fit, it docked. No questions asked. sure you had to do a little bit of planning ahead of time. Centralized cores was pretty much the only planning you had to do, and just build the box big enough to cover the entire ship, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, the rail docking is very powerful. It gives us so many more options that we otherwise wouldn't have, and it just creates so many really cool features. It is the piston of Starmade. It is great. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying we should ditch that for the old system. I'm not saying we should keep the old system. I just think there is a way that we can get the old system functionality with the new system. And I honestly can't figure out why people are so, against the idea. It does not take away from awesome features to be able to dock oddly shaped ships on a flat platform just by saying, okay, this ship doesn't have a rail docker. Alright, pretend that the rail docker... So for this ship, it doesn't have a rail docker, so when I use the core docking beam on a rail basic, the game itself would imagine that it does have a rail docker that is directly below the core, so the game would just pretend that this block is there and allow it to dock. That's it. It doesn't have to physically be there. I don't understand, like, oh, well, it's magnetic docking. The two blocks have to touch. I don't really think that's just a way to justify a limitation of the system. It's not really an argument in my book. So yeah, that'll about cover it for the end of this rant. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.